Okay, hi guys. So for my activity, I attended a 1 hour hot yoga session at a core power studio by my house, like my hometown and stuff like that. So just a little disclaimer, I walk in and there's no phone signs everywhere. So I had to pretend I was a researcher in order to record myself in the session. And so this is why I'm in the very back corner and the angle's really low, so you're really just going to be staring at my legs the entire time. And this is also why I could not film the instructor, because she was teaching in front of the entire class and there was a lot of people there, and just for privacy reasons the studio didn't want me recording anybody, and I was like, that's fine. Anyways, let's jump right into it. So I thought the session was super unique. So it was like a C 1.5 class, and so this is the class I do for beginners, between beginner and intermediate. So like, you should be pretty familiar. I was not. I just needed to take a class that was pretty easy to me and not jumping into like a HIIT workout. The room temperature the entire time was set around 90 degrees with heat and humidity, which good and bad. It is really hard to get used to. And I was literally dripping sweat by the time I left there, but it really helps loosen up your muscles, increase heart rate, increase circulation, which helps you burn more calories in the long run. So the heat also allows each individual to really achieve a deeper stretch and to get better overall range of motion. I am extremely unflexible and I can't even touch my toes half the time, but I was leaving there with the combined heat and repetition of each stretch. Like, I left there and my hands were almost flat on the floor, which is very impressive because I've never been able to touch the ground. So stuff like that. During the session, the instructor we had took us through many motions that were not familiar to me at all, and she would perform 5 to 7 of them and have us go through the repetitions and everything with her, to kind of get familiar and stuff like that, and then to teach us each motion with the name that associates with it. And at the end of the 5 to 7, she would then create a flow with all of them and put them all together to create this flow sequence that then we would just go through as she walked around, checked technique and form, and just really talked through the names that we should be doing with the inhale, the exhale, stuff like that. And then we would do each flow 4 to 5 times throughout the entire session, or each block, I should say, because she's really blocked it into first block, a core block, and then the second block. So yeah, then there was the core intermission that was about 5 minutes, I think. That she just fired core exercises at us that we were just doing while we were dripping sweat, shaking a little bit. And then we went back to more poses and stretching to do a second round of the flow with a couple new stretches and stuff that I was not familiar with at all. So it was super cool. And I thought it was really eye-opening to that whole side. So I also think the concept of the instructor taking us through the entire class is very similar to any workout class that you would attend. But I think the specificity of the heat element being added into it made it a lot harder to adjust, and it's something I've never done before, so I think that's why it's a little bit different than any other workout I've done. And it's just like regular yoga, but you're throwing in that heat element that helps you really perfect the range of motion, the flexibility, everything like that. So I think it was a really good change. It was something I was not used to, very out of my comfort zone. So I also think some of the advantages to hot yoga are improved flexibility. Again, I could not touch my toes, and I left being able to touch my toes, which I thought was super cool. And I also think it helps remove toxins at such a high rate through your sweat, because it is so hot in there and you're just moving and sweating the entire time. So, and I also think I left in a really calm and like relaxing state, and then my reduced stress levels, especially with finals coming up, was gone for the hour I was there. So I thought that was pretty cool. And some of the disadvantages, like, I love the heat. I'm from Southern California. I've always loved the heat, so I never had an issue with it. But I think getting used to that and then having to do a workout while you're in it as well and keeping up with the pace of the flow can be super challenging to people. So yeah, it was super fun. So yeah.